The next part of the technique series is the squat clean. Now there are a couple of ways, maybe 3 ways that I would probably teach, but we're going to go through 2 today on how to do this optimally. Obviously the deadlift is going to be the first phase, so it's another opportunity to practice that. So we'll practice proper deadlift. Once the handles are flat, we're going to keep torso upright and drop into the squat. As you drop into the squat, flare your elbows out. If you don't flare your elbows to make room for the log, you end up a bit down on here. Then the handles are like this. If the handles are flat or even pointed that way, when you go to clean it, you won't be able to pull on them as much. So when we're in that bottom position, the handles are either slightly down or further down. And for that to happen, you have to get your elbows out the way. You have to push your elbows up. When you're in that bottom position, your torso, if you look to the side again, should be bolt upright. So when you've got the log on your lap and you're in that squat position, we want to be nice and upright. If you're over, when you clean, you then have to go from here all the way round. Whereas if you're upright, it's a more efficient movement pattern. You're already in the upright position. The first clean I will teach people is the hip clean, especially beginners. What that means is as you come up through the movement pattern, the log is going to make contact with your hips and then roll up. So your deadlift, squat all the way down, elbows out. As you stand up, let your elbows extend. When you get to about midway, or maybe quarter squat from the top, you will then allow your hips to make contact with the log. So we'll go again, squat down, arms extend, and you use your hips and glutes to explode through the movement. If you notice from the side that you're leaning over the log, it could be a couple of things. Most of the time what I see, it's a lack of dorsiflexion in the ankle. So you could go and do some mobilization, you could go and do some weighted stretching on them, but you've got the log handy, so you can use that. So what I tend to do with my warm-up is I'll squat down, I'll rest my hands on it, and I'm going to push the weight of the log and stretch my calf or ankle out whilst I'm here. So you're pushing side to side, you can keep the foot flat, but I'm trying to work the toes, the knees tracking over the toes. If you improve that ankle dorsiflexion, your knees will go forward, which will allow your torso to then come more upright. When you come out of the bottom of the squat clean, you want your torso to be upright. So let's say we've squatted down. Let's say this is my hip, this is my head. As we come up out of the squat clean, this angle should occur. So it should come straight up. We don't want to have the hips go back and then go round. What that usually points to is a weakness in your VMO or quad muscle, or also bad motor pattern. Bad motor pattern is a case of dial the weight back, get used to the skill. Weak quads, I would recommend you go through a period of doing something specific like front squats, cyclist squats, or whatever. What I mean technically, so if we come up, we squat down. What I don't want to see is your hips go back and then forward. The reason I point to the VMO is because you're pushing away from the VMO to try and recruit the posterior chain to finish the movements. What we want to see is squat, we're still upright, 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 bang.